Hello, everybody. This is Denise of Something Beautiful Handcrafts, and I'm starting my fiber study on Cormo. Now, I want to say that this particular Cormo came from Knit Fairy's stash that I inherited, and I have no idea exactly how much is in the box or in the bag. Um, Sorry about the bouncing. Maybe an ounce or two. I'll wait afterwards. There'll be very little waste, so I won't have to worry about it. So Cormo is deliciously soft. You can see this crimp. It's beautiful. And I'm going to tell you what the Fleece and Fiber Sourcebook says about Cormo. All right, so Cormo is a crossbreed, and it was created or bred in Tasmania. And the object was to increase the fertility, the frame size, and the yield of fleece. So Cordell and Merinos were bred together, and that's where the name Cormo comes from. The fleece weight is 5 to 12 pounds, staple length 3.5 to 5 inches, which is about what this is. That's a very nice staple length. The fiber diameters are between 17 and 23 microns, so this is very, very fine. It says the lock characteristics are dense rectangular staples with well-defined regular crimp. So you can see these staples are dense, they're rectangular, and that crimp is very well defined. Try to get you a good picture. Zooming in with that one. This is deliciously and beautifully white. This is like Angora white. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take a tiny bit of the raw and put it on the page, but I almost hate to waste any of it. It's just so beautiful. It's like cottony soft. It's like just dense Angora soft. I think if I was to put my hand in the bag and not have any idea what this was, I probably would say it was English Angora, or I would say it was cotton. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's not as springy as Merino is, or as the Shetland. It doesn't really snap back at you like those do. It slides out of your hands. It's like the grippiest Angora you've ever spun. And it's just wonderful to spin. So let's get right to the spinning. Hello, and here we are. It's probably been like a year later since I first started the breed study. And just found this lying around somewhere as I was going through stuff. And I said, oh, I guess I better go ahead and finish this. So here is the Cormo. And of course, we all know it's just so pleasantly soft. There wasn't a lot of yardage. There couldn't have been more than an ounce or two. And I wish I had my spinner's control card with me. It's over there somewhere. But I would say that this was sport weight, kind of borderline-ish. I did not spin the Cormo very tightly. It doesn't really need a lot of twist. And it just, even with me spinning it worsted, because I want to say that I didn't card it, I flick it, because I must always flick everything. And the flicking, although the fibers are aligned and I'm always spinning worsted for the most part, so it's not really a woolen, even though I'm using the hand carders. But when you have fibers like Merino and Cormo, a lot of times they are just such lofty fibers themselves that, oh, unless you're spinning them incredibly thin, and even when you're doing that, they still just kind of fluff up. Even Jacob has a tendency to just really fluff. And so even if I'm spinning my usual tightness and I'm spinning worsted, the fiber still just has loft in it. So yeah, that's about average of what happened, give or take a few slubs. And in whenever I'm knitting like this, or spinning to knit like this, or even spinning to weave, unless for some reason I'm making something where the consistency is so important, like actually knitting lace trim or knitting something that's going to be super thin and super fine, I don't worry too much about the occasional slub. Now, well, especially when the fiber is soft, because they're going to um, they're going to stick together anyway. Some of the other fibers, I don't like neps. Neps are totally different than slubby bits. They're just, trust me, they actually are. So neps I pull, but slubs I'm spinning I don't worry too much about, and they really don't do much harm. For just general purposes, they do add texture. All right, so this right here, this pattern is the Juliet scarf, and I don't know the pattern creator offhand, but it's a pattern that is on Ravelry, and I've made several different ones. One of my favorite ones is from Angora yarn, and the Angora has held up well, and it's still pretty good stitch definition. But then, like I said, tend to be a worsted spinner, so tend to be pretty tight. Absolutely love this. I think if I was to pull it up properly, it'd probably be about 26 or 27 inches. So not a full scarf, just kind of a little scarflet. It's absolutely adorable. I don't plan on dyeing it. I'm probably just going to like wear it, just lay it around the collar as a short kind of piece. It would be nice kind of turned up a bit as a small collar. Oh, it's going to be adorable either way. But I really enjoyed that sample. I can't remember if I actually made the video. I feel like I did. But I know a lot of people, well, maybe some people. I know me, especially if you have a fiber that's expensive and you don't want to waste any of the yarn or any of the fiber that you're spinning. So you can knit swatch squares. I don't tend to knit swatch squares. What I do is I find projects that only take 100 or 200 or so, or small amount of yardage. And I will spin up the samples for the brief studies, or a sample of a fiber. And I need an ounce, 2 ounces maybe, in order to do some of these patterns. If you spin it up, fingering weight, sport weight, and I'll make something. This is something that is useful. Didn't take a lot of yardage. I've also made fingerless mitts that are 100, 120 yards or less, just barely 2 ounces. And that way you can do a sample, which I very much encourage. But also when you make your sample, you have something that you can actually use, not just a bunch of squares or, whatever. Of course, you could always take the squares and make anything with them too. So, if you like making squares, then go for it. I'm just saying that if you want to sample and you want to do something with the finished product, there's always patterns where you can make fingerless mitts or scarflets or wristlets or headbands or something like that. Alrighty, there's another Bree study. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.